and she keeps trying to get closer to the girl because she wants to solve this mystery, and the girl just thinks she's a weirdo who wants her life, which is not the case.
This goddamn ring.
What's poppin'? It's your girl Kati Wap back at it again with another video. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment and share this video. And in today's video, Kati crew, I will be sharing my top 30 Netflix shows with you guys. Alright, I'm gonna go down the list. I'll give you guys a brief description, and these shows are not listed in no particular order. It's just as they came to mind to me, alright? So without further ado, let's just jump right into this video. Let's go. Alright, so number 1 on the list is Grey's Anatomy, okay? And you don't have to be going into the medical field or into the medical field and doctors and things like that and science to actually like this show. Like, yes, it's about the medical field, science and all that, but it's also about how these people, the doctors, the residents, particularly Meredith Grey, how she navigates her residency and following in her mother's footsteps and like kind of living in her mother's shadow. And also how she navigates a relationship, having kids, friends, and how they all started together on this one journey and where they end up. So it's definitely something you guys should definitely check out. And the second thing on the list is Greenleaf. Greenleaf is about this church family and ups and downs and how they appear to their congregation, like the church, to look like they have it all together, but in reality they really don't have it all together. And how even though they are people that you know, praise God, the Lord, they also have skeletons kind of in the closet, and just basically how they navigate their family life and work life as well. Number 3 on the list is Good Girls. Good Girls is about 3 main characters or ladies, and then this one like drug lord who's basically their boss, and it's about these 3 ladies starting to rob places because they need money for whatever reason to provide for their kids, their families themselves, or just because they're bored with their suburban life, being you know, a home mom, stay-at-home mom or whatever. So they need money, and then they get involved with this drug lord where they do, you know, crazy things for him so that they could get extra money. They end up cleaning his money for him and printing out more money for him and for themselves as well. So it's definitely a good show. You guys should check it out. Number 4 on the list is Dynasty. Dynasty is about this main character, Fallon Carrington, and her family, and it's basically about her trying to restore her family's name after time and time again her father and other people in her family and other people, like their enemies, try to destroy their name and the dynasty of the Carrington name. And it's also about how she navigates, you know, the work life and trying to beat the patriarchy as she rises above to be the big boss lady, even though they think it's only a man's world. All right, number 5 on the list is Sex Life. Okay, Sex Life is a great show. Sex Life is a great show, so you guys should definitely check that out. Like, if you're into that kind of like erotic kind of stuff, you should definitely check that out. It's a good show. It's about this lady who is not kind of happy with her marriage and kind of like the life she settled for. So she keeps thinking about her younger years and when she was with this guy who pleased her in the most amazing ways, and she keeps drifting back to that wild life where she was feeling pleasure all the time, and you know, it was unpredictable compared to the life that she now has with her newborn child and her other child and her husband. Number 6 on the list is Jenny and Georgia. So Jenny and Georgia is about a mother and daughter, a white mother and her mixed biracial daughter, and how they move to place, they keep moving from place to place, and how her mother is always trying to have relationships with other guys, and how her mother's always trying to be her best friend and kind of instead of being the mother figure that she needs and kind of interfering into her life. Number 7 on the list is Shameless. Shameless is about this dysfunctional family with this dad who's constantly drinking, trying to get money, doing illegal activities, trying to sell his kid, and just kind of ruining his kid's life and just having so many kids, you know. And then the mother too is dysfunctional. She has bipolar disorder, so it's just like a whole mess. They're all over the place, and there's like basically no structure in that household. Number 8 on the list is Ozark. Ozark is about this finance guy or accountant who gets in his friends, his co-workers get in some illegal activity, and then he ends up getting brought down, so he has to launder money and drugs for this big drug lord, and he has to end up moving his family to the Ozarks in order to continue living and to maintain the security of himself and his family. Number 9 on the list is Behind Her Eyes. This story was all over the place. Like, it's literally scary. So this story is about how this guy meets this woman, and how they do these kind of like weird spells where they kind of, their spirits switch and go into each other's body or something like that. And he ends up basically loving the life that this lady lives with her boyfriend and wants it, and he ends up going into her body, pretending basically his soul's in her body, and kind of trapping her out and putting himself in her body, and ended up killing him. And then she is dead, but we don't know that because he's living in her body, and it looks like her on the outside physically is her. And then they move to a new area, the lady with her husband, even though it's not really the lady, it's the guy that's in her friend who's in her body. And then he meets a new lady who's also his assistant at his office, and he ends up kind of having kind of like an affair with her emotionally, and then also physically too. And then towards the end, they realize that same man that's in his wife's body jumps into that new woman's body. And that's when we realize, like, the whole time his wife thought that she had killed that guy, meanwhile, and told her husband about it. Meanwhile, it was the guy who killed her and was pretending to be her the whole time, and the husband didn't know because he had a crush on her life and on her husband, and he wanted that. So yeah, it's crazy. It's all over the place. I'm sorry for spilling the tea, but you guys should definitely go check that out, honestly. Number 10 is Money Heist. So Money Heist is about the professor and this weird group of people that he gathers that are like criminals, dropouts, people that don't really have much going on in their life, but they are skilled in certain areas, and they go around and rob like amazing monumental like buildings and places that are really deemed hard to get into and to actually rob. And it's orchestrated very well. The professor has like this great voice, and he's so smart. He's like a mastermind genius. And the way he talks to the police and to the people, and he teaches them, he's basically a teacher, teaching them how to do all these criminal things and how to execute the plan without a hitch and nothing going wrong. So it's definitely a great show. You know, they have like 4 seasons. The 5th season's coming out soon. You guys should definitely check it out. It's really good. And they actually get away with a lot of these money heists as well. Next on the list is 11, Blood and Water. So Blood and Water is about this girl who moves to a new area, and then when she moves to that area, she goes to the school, and she meets this girl who looks like, or makes her think about her sister that was missing like a few years ago or whatever, like maybe 10, 11 years ago. And she keeps going to that school because her best friend goes to that school with that girl who she thinks is her sister, and she keeps trying to get closer to the girl because she wants to solve this mystery, and the girl just thinks she's a weirdo who wants her life, which is not the case. Number 12 on the list is Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is about this chemistry teacher who has cancer, so he starts to make meth, I believe, and he starts selling it with like one of his former students or a student. He's kind of running this like meth drug lord kind of a thing, gang or whatever. Number 13 is Dark Desire. Dark Desire is about a woman who suspects that her husband is cheating on her with his secretary, but the whole time he's cheating with her best friend, and she ends up going on a trip with said best friend where she meets this young man at a party, and they end up sleeping together, and then the boy becomes obsessed with her, and even though she tries to end it several times, he doesn't get the memo. It continues to stalk her, follow her, and kind of just make things difficult for her because she tries to keep this hidden from her husband because her husband is some big time judge, and she knows that he has anger issues, and she doesn't want him to find out about this. But it's all over the place, but it's still a good show, and you guys should definitely check it out. Number 14 on the list is Who Killed Sarah. So Sarah is this girl that was dating this boy, but at the same time, she lived a double life. She probably lived a quadruple life at this point because there's so many twists, turns, and plots going on with her, honestly. Like, she was supposed to be with this one boy, but come to find out she was with his father. She was with other people trying to touch her. She also had a mental disorder, like she was kind of schizophrenic. So it was just so much going on, but it's good. She ends up dying because she went on this parachute on a boat, and her mystery of who killed her is still being solved and investigated because there's so much people that hated her, and she was just involved in so much things that weren't brought to light but are starting to unfold as a story and plot goes on in the show. So you guys should definitely check it out. Number 15 is Love is Blind. So Love is Blind is about people who join this show and they're not allowed to physically meet the people, but they just talk to them in these kind of like cubicles, not cubicles, but in these pods, they're called the pods. And they kind of just they have like notebooks, and they kind of just go in there and they talk to people, get their names, information about them, and just ask them questions without seeing them. It really is the title, Love is Blind. So basically it's about making a deeper connection with people emotionally instead of seeing them physically, and using that physical attractiveness to state and see, oh, okay, I love them because they're physically attractive. Instead, you're just working on building a deeper connection with them. Number 16 is Virgin Vira. Virgin Vira is about a nurse practitioner who lived in California, who ended up moving suddenly after her husband's death, after all these miscarriages she had. So she moves to the small town, Virgin Vira, where she works as a nurse practitioner with a doctor. And in a small town, news just travels fast. She ends up liking this guy who owns a bar, and his baby mama kind of gets in the way, who's also like his ex-girlfriend or his ex side piece, whatever you want to call that. And she's just trying to navigate life in that small town and being liked and accepted by the people, while also trying to heal from the heartbreak of all the miscarriages she had and her husband passing away, and then kind of being out there alone without her family. Number 17 is Selling Sunset. Selling Sunset is about these two brothers who own this real estate firm where they have I believe it's women, I'm not sure if guys are allowed, guys in there. I think there's some guys in there actually too, who kind of sell these expensive homes and mansions, and they're all like high maintenance people, kind of, not high maintenance, but they're all into like the designers, labels, and they're all selling these expensive homes to celebrities and like A-list people and influencers, things like that, in like the California area. So yeah, that's a really good show. It's fun. It's nice to see those expensive and nice, beautiful homes. And also some of the people that are selling these homes, they're real estate agents. They dress really nicely and they have nice designer things. So you can look at that too. And it might be interesting if you're into those kinds of things. Next on the list is 18 is You. You is about this young man, okay? All right, I don't know his name, but he's also from Gossip Girl, Dan Humphrey, him. He's the star in You. So it's about him kind of being a controlling, narcissistic, obsessed kind of boyfriend. Like he meets girls and kind of when he makes them their girlfriend, even while he's pursuing them, he kind of becomes really obsessed with them and controlling and watching their every move and just overthinking everything, and he even kills in the pursuit of love or his pursuit of trying to get someone. And it's just crazy, like the things that he does and how he's so sneaky and how he covers it up like it's nothing and acts like he's doing it because he loves you. Like it's really given real narcissistic, controlling, abusive, toxic relationship vibes. That's really what this show is about. And it's crazy because he kind of gets away with it because he works in a library and he seems like he's just a calm person and he doesn't have anything that's hidden, when that's not the case. But yeah, those are the kind of people you have to look out for. The people that have it all together and they look so calm and like they would never be doing something like that. Those are the people you got to look out for. Not all the time, but sometimes. But yeah, you should definitely check out that show. Number 19 is Tiny Pretty Things. So this show is about dancers, ballerinas, like the ballet. And it's about how this one girl, I believe it's Cassie, she was killed by someone, we don't know who, because they go to like this extreme dance academy, ballet academy that's really like competitive, and then, like they'll push you to the edge, like your coaches and even your teammates, and it's like about people wanting to be on top and to also solve that mystery. And 20 is sex education. So number 20 is about this young man whose mother is like a sex therapist, and he has listened to some of her sessions because she does it within her home. So he has listened to it, I guess some of them, or heard what she says to her clients, and he decides that he doesn't want to be the boring kid in school no more, I guess. So he teams up with some of his friends or new people, and they kind of form their own sex therapy sessions that happen within the school and like the bathroom stalls where people come and ask them for advice, and they pay them, and he tells them what they should be doing as if he knows everything and as if he actually engaged in sexual activity when he hasn't. So that's basically what that's about. He's trying to do what his mother does, but for people his age, and act like he knows it all when he really doesn't. And that helps him get a little popular though, so, and come out of his shell actually too. Next on the list, 21, is Outer Banks. So the Outer Banks is about basically the rich kids versus the poor kids, okay? And the poor kids are called from the Pogue, and that's basically the big thing. And those kids are looking for treasures that their relatives own or have, and that the rich people try taking and hiding from them. One of the main characters is John B, whose father was killed, and he's just trying to solve that mystery and the treasure that his father had located with his friends, and they are trying to just navigate life in an area where they feel unwanted and disrespected by the rich people in that same like town and area. And they definitely go on adventures, and they're like all over the place, and they stick together. Like that whole group of people who call themselves the Pogue, their team, John B and his friends, they all stick together no matter what, even though it angers their families sometimes to the extent they go through. But it's a good show. Number 22 on the list is All American. So All American, like the title says, it's about a football. So it's about football players, and it's about this boy, Spencer James, who is on like basically south side of California, you know, Crenshaw, and he ends up moving to Beverly Hills to play football for a coach who used to go to the Crenshaw High School and also knew his father, who was a star player too for Crenshaw High School, and he coaches him there at Beverly Hills, where he becomes a big top shot football player, and then he moves back to Crenshaw because he cares about, you know, helping his community move forward and, you know, supporting the Black Lives Matter movement and just being there and helping his team and neighborhood, you know, people like him see that there's more to life than, you know, the streets, the drugs, you know, violence and all that stuff that has killed many of the people that he grew up with and that he knew during his childhood. And it's also about how he navigates his friendships and also relationships as he's trying to figure out himself and move forward to be the best football player that he can be. Number 23 on the list is Bridgeton. So Bridgeton is about women's coming of age and how these ladies have to, at a certain age, they have to, you know, start attending these balls so that they can find their husband. And this one girl, Daphne, finds hers, and he is the Duke of something. And she finds him, falls in love with him, you know, but he's cold because of the trauma that he experienced with his father, so he doesn't really know how to love. But then he ends up opening up to her and loves her, and they just kind of are like the couple goals, power couple for the whole people in their area. And yeah, and she had other suitable suitors or people that were good too, but she just wanted him, you know, but they were still admiring her. And then next up is her younger sister, who has to go, who's scared and doesn't want to follow that lead. She doesn't want to be someone's, you know, wife, like, or mother. She feels like that is not enough. It's not fulfilling enough for her. So it just kind of follows that around, and other young women of money and of status quo who need to get married, and just how their family and the community of people react to that. Number 24 is Orange is the New Black. So Orange is the New Black is about these two women. Well, it's about many women, but mostly it's about these two women who I believe were selling drugs, and then they got arrested and were put in jail. And it's about these women in jail and how they are in jail, but they still think of business plans to make money and to have respect in jail, how to gain respect in jail, and just, you know, get their education, you know, get themselves right even though they're in jail. Like, that's not stopping them or hindering their growth as people and individuals. Number 25 is Vampire Diaries. So Vampire Diaries is about, the main character is Elena, and it's about her and how she's a doppelganger, meaning like she has this twin who is kind of evil and a vampire, and how her twin was dead, and her twin's ex-boyfriend Stefan came to her town, and the night that he came with his brother Damien, that's the night her parents died, and that's when they saw her, and Stefan ended up falling in love with her, but Damien was also in love with her, and how they all kind of just both of them swindled their way into her life. And when they came into her life, people started dying and disappearing because of, you know, the vampires, them and other vampires biting them, killing them, and turning them into vampires and all that stuff. And not everyone can actually go through that change of becoming from human to a vampire. It's very difficult, and it's a hard tradition. Some of them end up becoming werewolves. Some of them become hybrids, which are half werewolf, half vampire. And it's just basically how they try to hide this secret and protect their town, and how they try to continue to navigate through school, work, and family without anyone detecting this, because there are people out there that hunt vampires and werewolves with arrows, bows with vervain in there, because vervain is something that kills and, you know, kind of burns the like the sun burns vampires, and all those things are like things that they can't take. Next on the list is the originals. So the originals is similar to Vampire Diaries. It's about vampires and werewolves, but it's about the first ones. So as I said, the originals, when I said Stefan and Elena's doppelganger sister, twin sister, or whatever, and Damon, they are kind of like the original vampires. But not only is it kind of dumb, it's also really Elena's doppelganger. She's like the original, as well as somebody named Klaus, somebody named Elijah, their sister Rebecca, and these people also, and Marcellus, and those people also show up in the Vampire Diaries at various points as well. So that's basically what that's about, and it's about how they were in what is it called, New Orleans. It's how they were in New Orleans and how they also traveled around to different places. The next thing on the list is number 27, The Circle. The Circle is similar to Love is Blind, where people are in these pods, but not pods, but in these rooms, apartments, by themselves, and they only communicate with people through this application or website app called The Circle. And when they type on there, they're trying to get to know people emotionally without ever seeing, well, they have pictures on there, so they do see the pictures of these people. Unlike Love is Blind, you don't really see, I don't think you see pictures of people, but on The Circle, you do see pictures of people, and they can update their profile with like a bio. It's like your Instagram bio. You got your profile picture, and then you got your bio with whatever you want to write there, whatever labels you want to put or a description about yourself. So that's kind of how The Circle is. And some people on there are really being themselves. Some people pretending to be their friends. Some people, you know, pretending to be their friends, pretending to be famous people. They're catfishing. That's what we call catfishing. And some people are on there really being themselves and generally trying to find a connection and find someone that they can meet, like find true friendship or true love on there. And basically, as a group, you have to try to get to know everyone individually and as a group, and also try to weed out the people that you think are catfish or not being true or genuine. So that's basically what that show is about. And number 28 is Summertime. So Summertime really is about this girl named Summer, and about how Summertime is in her country, and about her friendships and how she's navigating high school, going to college, relationships, and just about, yeah, her love life and the people around her closest friends' love life as well. And then family relationships too as well. The family dynamic in our household, that's really what it's about, and what things they do during the summer. 29 is Queen of the South. So Queen of the South is about this lady who had to flee Mexico because her boyfriend was killed, and he was involved, I guess, in illegal activity, and she fled, and then she ended up having to, I guess, still sell drugs in America or wherever she ended up, and she was kind of becoming like a mogul with that. Number 30 is Sweet Magnolia. Sweet Magnolias is like about suburban women and how they're navigating their friendship or friends since childhood, and how they navigate adult life together, starting families, you know, having families, friendships, and just, you know, enjoying life. But those are my 30 top Netflix shows, and you guys should definitely check them out. Please comment down below and let me know if you guys have seen any of these shows I listed. Let me know what you guys think about the shows you've watched already. Let me know what shows you guys would like to watch. And also, let me know if you want me to keep this up, because I can do the same thing with this for Hulu. I can do the same thing for CW. I can do the same thing with Stars. I can do the same thing with other TV networks that I watch a lot of shows on. And I can also do this for Netflix using movies. So please comment down below and let me know, you know, what you guys want to see more of, because I can definitely, you know, do that. Okay? Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share this video, and subscribe if you are not subscribed, because I'm gonna have bangers. Okay, I'm having more good videos coming. Period. All right, let me stop. But seriously, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like it, comment, share it, all of that. No, but seriously, guys. All right, these are my 30 favorite top highly recommended Netflix shows for you guys to watch. Okay, these are binge-worthy shows. Okay. Nah, but seriously, do that. Watch these. All right, and I'm out. Deuces. Out. Deuces.